From Los Angeles, it's the John Kerwin Show. I'm your announcer, Justin Nottingham, along with Nicholas Burns and the Night Owls. Tonight's guest, Melissa Manchester, and Jackie Christie, with musical guest, Elizabetta. And now, here's your host, John Kerwin!
Welcome back. Tonight's first guest is a Grammy Award-winning artist who has performed for sold-out audiences across the country. This is her CD, The Very Best of Melissa Manchester. Hi.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for coming on our show.
My pleasure.
Yeah, you have a very, very cool vibe about you.
I'm pretty cool.
Yeah. You've seen it all, have you not? In show business?
I have. I've been doing this a long time, and I love what I do. This is, this odd life is my version of normal.
Yeah, this is kind of odd because we're meeting for the very first time right now. I mean, I didn't have a chance to say hello backstage.
That's true. You're a busy guy.
And here we are, just talking like friends, isn't it?
It is.
It's
wonderful.
crazy,
It's
isn't it?
magic, isn't it? How do we do that?
You're from New York, right?
From the Bronx originally.
I'm from Queens myself.
There you go.
My dad went to DeWitt Clinton High School in the Bronx.
That's where my parents went.
Yes?
That's exactly right.
How do you like that?
I actually lived across the street from DeWitt Clinton, 196 in Jerome, ground floor.
My father will know that. Yeah. He would always sing the theme song. DeWitt-C-L-I-N-T-O-N. Boom. Is that right?
Ah, nice. All right.
Yeah.
Good.
I grew up with that.
Cool.
No one else cares. So, what point in your life did you realize that you had this gift to sing?
Well, I come from a very musical family. My father was a bassoonist with the Metropolitan Opera, and my mother was one of the first, she was a singer, and she was one of the first designers on 7th Avenue to own her own company. And so there was always music around the house, and my sister and I were just encouraged to chase our dreams. But when I was 5 years old, I heard Ella Fitzgerald sing for the first time, and until I got bigger, school and everything else was a great big annoyance because I just wanted to become Ella.
But how did you know you can sing? Like, at what point did your voice come out?
Well, everybody could sing in my family. Everybody. My grandmother could sing. Everybody. We were just a bunch of singers.
But you're exceptional. Is that not correct? I mean, your voice is incredible. I mean, there had to be a point where you knew that you were better than your grandmother.
I think, I think what I knew is I just wouldn't take no for an answer because I was rejected a lot. I made lots of demos. It took me 7 years to get a record deal. People didn't know what to do with me. Some people thought I was black. Some people couldn't figure out how white I could be, or it was just odd,
How white can you be?
This is about it.
Okay.
And
that's pretty good. It's convincing.
Yeah. And but I just always felt most alive and most engaged when I was singing. Now, performing in the early years was really rough because I was paying really hard dues. I was performing at most of the college coffee houses around New York State, long before there were electric instruments and stuff like that, and I would just play on any piece of crap piano that was there. And frequently with my back to the audience because the upright was broken and was not able to move. So, you just learn how to do this.
It's really not much different from the road I took because instead of Ella Fitzgerald, it was Johnny Carson on television.
Right.
And it was going to coffee houses, and it's a similar road, but
Right.
knowing that you want to do that.
But the thing, I don't know if you had this experience, but I used to follow this group. We had different groups that would follow in coffee houses or whatever. There was one in particular called Jake and the Family Jewels. And I remember about 7 years into my work, I was about to get on the bus, and I turned to my bass player and I said, "Have you heard from that group?" And nobody had heard of the group in a while, and we realized we're still doing this. We're still on the road. We're still working towards something, and it's interesting. Huh?
Even worse than the coffee houses, we had a group, and what we would do is we would go on the New York City subways, and every time there was a stop, we would do like 4 jokes.
Nice.
And then it would start again with the noise, and we'd have to wait for the next stop, and then the next guy would get the jokes.
Yes, but you see, but for the singers, that's where the great echo was in
That's
the subway
right.
stops.
It's like
absolutely.
being in a bathtub.
Huge, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. A lot of people don't notice about you, but you started out as a backup singer for Bette Midler. And this was the Harlettes. Is that what they were called? I know
Well, Barry Manilow and I were jingle singers, and
commercial jingles.
yeah, that's what we did, and it was phenomenal. You know, we met people like Patty Austin and Nick Ashford and Valerie Simpson, and so Barry was working with Bette, and she was working at a club on 74th Street called the Continental Bathhouse, which is a gay club, and I was working up the street at a place called the Focus, and she had just been on the Carson Show for the first time, singing "Shaboom Shaboom" in pedal pushers, and just turned America on its ear. And so, so Barry and Bette came to see me at the club, the Focus, and I went over after my set and introduced myself. And I said, "How great! Congratulations! What are you doing?" And she said, "Well, I'm getting ready for Carnegie Hall, first time." And I said, "Wow! Are you going to have any background singers?" And she said, "No, I don't know. Would you like to sing in back of me?" And I said, "Well, actually, I'd like to sing instead of you. But in the meantime, I'll be happy to sing background." And so Barry and I organized the Harlettes, and I was the
So
toots,
you were the
I was
first
the
one.
toots in the middle for 6 months.
Oh, wow. So this is before Katie Seagal was there or anything, right? You were the very first, huh?
Very first, yes.
Oh, my
Yep.
goodness. I'll tell you, when I first experienced you, I'm from New York City, as I mentioned.
And when you say experienced me,
Yes, I mean... Oh, boy. I just turned the color of my tie.
that's
No, the very first show I ever went to, my father brought me to Dancin', which was Bob Fosse's Dancin'.
yes.
And I fell in love with the song, "If It Feels Good, Let It Ride."
Wow,
and
thank you.
I made him get the album
Yes.
at home.
Yes.
And I would just sing every night.
I have a letter typewritten by Bob Fosse thanking me for that song.
Oh, it was such a
Unbelievable.
showstopper.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I'll be at home as a
Thanks.
little boy. This shows the power of music, because what would a boy know about this song? But
Yeah.
if it feels good, let it ride. Take a good long look at yourself and let it shine. I don't want to spend all day on what may come tomorrow.
Very
I loved
nice.
it. I
Thank
love that
you.
song.
Yes.
That inspired me so much. You mentioned commercial jingles. Is there a jingle that you were a part of that you can share with us?
I was part of several jingles. You deserve a break today,
Oh,
so get up and get away.
at Burger King.
Not quite.
No. We all know that one. Was there another one as well? Did you do State Farm? Was that yours?
No,
That was Barry,
no,
right?
yeah, he wrote that, but my girlfriend Leslie Miller sang that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh. I'm excited to talk about lots more with you.
Great.
We'll take a break and be right back with Melissa Manchester. It's fun looking at the warm-up guy doing that, isn't it?
He's exhausted. He's drenched from sweat.
Yes.
He's working so hard.
We all are.
Congratulations.
Welcome back. We're talking with Melissa Manchester. A lot of performers die to have one hit song. Yet
Yes.
you've had so many.
Thank you.
Don't Cry Out Loud, Midnight Blue, You Should Hear How She Talks About You. What does that song mean, by the way? The one where you should hear how she talks about you. We know the song, You Should Hear How She Talks
Yeah.
About You. What is that about? Just about a girlfriend talking about a guy behind his back?
Yes.
Well, that's what I figured.
That's
Okay.
it.
All right.
Good night. Lucky guess.
And what does Don't Cry Out Loud mean? I'm just kidding. You've done movie themes as well, a whole bunch of them, but you were the first artist to have 2 Oscar-nominated songs for 2 different films in the same year,
Yes.
and you performed both of them at the Academy Awards.
Yes.
My goodness, that had to be a busy night for you.
That was unbelievable. When I look at that video, you can download it on YouTube. The fact that you can't hear my knees banging together because of the sheer terror. They had me in a gorgeous, my first Bob Mackie gown. I was wearing very high heels. I was walking down 2 flights of stairs, no banister, while singing these 2 power ballads. And I thought, oh God, please don't let me die in front of 1 billion people.
1 billion people.
Not this way, please.
Gosh, what? You were an honorary Attorney General of Encino, which is where we shoot this show. What exactly did you do as the honorary Attorney General?
Not a darn thing.
Okay.
That's why I was honorary.
We want to talk about the California Women's Conference. Can you tell us about that?
Well, the California Women's Conference is in its, I believe, 28th year. It is a weekend convention at the Long Beach Convention Center, I believe. I will be performing 3 songs, and one of the songs I'll be performing there is a song I just wrote to sing with the choir at the Valley State Prison for Women. It's a maximum security prison for women, and I've been going up there and working with them a little bit, and the reason I did a concert up there at the Valley State Prison for Women is to celebrate the really hard work done by some of the women based on a program called Prison of Peace, which is a program created by my friend Laurel Coffer and Doug Knoll. It's based on restorative justice, and and these women wanted this program to try to move the culture of violence into something more positive, where the women themselves, the prisoners, could become certified mediators. And so in celebration of their 2-year work, very, very hard work, I wrote them a song, and I did a concert up at Valley State, and their choir, called Beloved, sang the song with me, and I'll be able to sing it at the California Women's Conference.
That's amazing, and very good. A bit reminiscent of the power that Johnny Cash said he got when he performed at Folsom State. Is that right?
Yes, it was astounding. It was astounding.
Yeah, amazing. We'll have to do our show sometime at a prison. Just kidding. Get eaten up alive, especially Nick. Can you dig it? Well, this is your CD, The Very Best of Melissa Manchester, where you have some of your greatest hits.
Yes, what's really interesting about that, it's called Playlist, and besides it being a compilation record of, and I do refer to these projects as records, by the way, is that it includes some songs that I've been writing in the last 1.5 years for films. There's a song on there called Rainbird from a film called Dirty Girl, which was just fantastic. Came out last year, and the song that I wrote with Mary Steenburgen, that song Rainbird, made the first list of the Academy Award nominations. And another song called I Know Who I Am, Tyler Perry put it in his film for Colored Girls, so that's on there too.
Wow, that's amazing. And I know this isn't rehearsed at all, and you know, we don't have a band rehearsed on any of this, and you have to sit down, but you said you might sing a little bit of Midnight Blue for us?
Yes, absolutely.
Would you guys like to hear that, right?
There's not even a keyboard here. Nothing.
We can't afford one.
Oh, okay. All right. Am I singing you out?
No, we're just going to, we'll sing a little bit, and then I'll go to commercial. How's that? All right.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Here, right before commercial, here we go. And I think we can make it one more time if we try. One more time for all the old times. Midnight Blue.
Oh,
Ta-da.
beautiful. Melissa Manchester, thank you so much for coming down. All right, folks, we'll take a break and be right back. Stay tuned.